Hello, everybody. Welcome to the power of transformation. As I said last week, this is Wonderful Wednesday. We want you to sit back and relax, but we also want you to call your friends and we want you to tag them. We want you to let them know that tonight's discussion is going to be a great one. We always have great discussions, but I believe that tonight's going to have something special for us. Who am I? Well, I'm your host, this Dr. Paula Obie, and I'm so delighted that you have joined us for the power of transformation. It's based on the biblical scripture, Romans 12 and 2, that you should be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And after this show, we want you to understand that there is a way for you to be empowered and transformed in your life. So, as you're calling your friends, as you're tagging them on Facebook, we're going to take just a quick break and then we're going to be right back. Stay tuned.
Pound 5. Pound 5.
Well, we're back. I want to tell you a little bit about our guest tonight. I met her a few years back when we were both just a little bit younger, just a little bit. And her name is Michelle Degree. When I met her, she was fierce then. I'm telling you, you knew when you were in her presence that she had leadership capabilities, she was creative, and she could get it done. And she has agreed to come and talk to us tonight. And I want you to look at the caption. I think it's so important. She says, "My goal is to help people succeed and transform." We are so happy to have her here because we're here to also talk about transformation. As I always say, I'm going to stop talking now and we're going to bring in our special guest, Michelle Degree.
Hi.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I am well. I am well. I'm excited about this.
I am too. And as I said before, I'm not exaggerating. You, even young, you were just a go getter. And it was just a pleasure to watch you work and to look at your, all the things that you accomplished then. And I have a suspicion, well, I already know because I read your bio, but I have a suspicion that you are going to share some things tonight that's going to really help everybody who's listening and those who are going to be listening a little later because they have Bible study. So I always ask the guests to tell me who they are. I can read your bio, but I want you to point out the things that are important to you, period.
So, what's important to me is, first of all, to let you know that I'm a woman of God. You'll see all kind of accolades. I'm glad you didn't read the bio. I don't want people to get caught up in that. I just want you to know that, Paula is saying that she knew me from way back then, when almost 30 something years ago, and she saw this fierce person. But what I didn't realize when I was working with all of you, Paula, I used to say all the time, why am I here? Why do they keep doing this to me? And I was being groomed. I was being taught. I'm glad I didn't give up. I wanted to show up every day, not show up, but glow up, because you, Brenda, Pauline Goza, Janice Oliver, y'all set the bar really high. Y'all set the bar high. And I always felt like, am I good enough? Am I good enough? Okay, let me bust my butt to show them. Let me show them. And I remember many a days wanting to cry. And Brenda used to say all the time, come here, little girl. Come here, little girl. go in that bathroom, get your little self together and come on out. Well, as time went on, they wouldn't even allow me to go to the bathroom. Suck it up and smile. And I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that God put me in that space, because now the reason why you see me say I help people transform and succeed, because I realize now at an early age, I was exposed to a lot in business. I was already in the boardrooms with all of you guys. You put me in the boardrooms way before I thought I was even ready. So now I'm here and I'm like, I don't care. They can vet me. I already been vetted. God already did that, right? I don't have to prove it. I don't have to say anything. It just happens. And I think people that don't know me say it's cockiness, when I'm like, I'm not that stressed about it. I'm going to get it, because what he has for me is for me. And that is something I have grown into and I actually believe. And I think that came from working with all of you back then, when we don't have to, as Jana said, you don't have to lie. You don't have to make it up. You just do what you do and they will see. And that is something I've taken. I keep looking up because I have this board with all the sayings from all of you. And my friends crack up when they read them. And I'm like, these are so old. They're so old, but they are so relevant. And I still use them and I give them to all of my mentees. But I think it was a blessing back then, and transformation in itself. And the Bible verse that we were talking about, renewing of the mind. Every time I used to stand on those platforms, no class was the same. I used to think, once you got the script, you're good. But what I realized, the script didn't change, but the people are always going to be different. So every time I have to renew my mind and say, God, transform my mind and prepare me, because I don't know what the other person is going through and I don't know what they're dealing with. And I have to be able to handle it. Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm thankful for. So I know that was around the mountain, but the bottom line is, okay, let me give you the business version. So my name is Michelle Degree. I'm the owner of Third Degree Solutions. Third Degree Solutions, we actually do professional development workshops for college students. We teach them about presentation skills, because not only do we present when we're on this call, we present every day when we introduce and we meet people and we're moving around in their lives. People are watching. You get 7 seconds to make an impression. And that's 7 snapshots they're going to take. That's the first 7 words that come out of your mouth. That's the way you move your eyes. So it's all about presentation skills. It's all about leadership, because you want to influence. It's about your brand. Who are you? And it's all about how you network that to get what you want and to show up in these companies, in these businesses that you own every single day. I need you to be consistent. Not today I'm saved, tomorrow I'm not. Today I'm gonna wild out with my girls, tomorrow I'm just, no. You get the same crazy Michelle, whether I'm in business or outside of business. This is it. They'll tell you. They'll say she's nuts. She says what comes to her mind, and it's consistency. So we do workshops like that because of all the students that have come through that are getting amazing jobs and have huge companies now. I had to switch over and do coaching. So my training part I've given to one of my friends, and he's doing it for me. And I'm over here doing coaching because they are professionals now. So this coaching arm of me is going crazy. I'm an ICF certified coach. I'm a program manager at Cisco. And on top of that, I speak to a lot of students, and I speak now to a lot of professionals. So that's what I do, but that's not who I am. That's just a job. That's just what God gave me to help. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's what I said. It's about transformation and adding value and helping everybody else to succeed. Because I feel like my life took off in a whirlwind when I was 24 when I met all of you. And when I turned 25, it just rocketed. And I remember I walked out of those doors. I was turning 29 and I was never going to leave. And God will either force you to leave or tell you to leave. And right. I left, and it went crazy since then. My life has gone all. I laugh. I look at this map that I borrowed for some friends, and I was marking the states, me and my best friend, Monique Slaughter, wherever she is in the world right now. And we laughed because we touched all the states. Now we've touched other countries. Monique's lived in more countries than I have. Wow. And the thing is, we never even dreamed that big. And I was a little shocked about that, because now when I think back, why didn't we dream that big? Because everybody around us did. They saw it. We just didn't see it. And the one game that I'll remember the first day at that company was, I got it, they want it. Now, how do I convince them to give it to me?
Wow.
And yeah. So that's my bio. I hope that answered your question and gave you enough
It did.
details
It
about me.
did. It answered my question, but it also confirmed what I've known all along. You keep referring to us, but you were just like a part of us. When you and so many others that came in, and just took us to the next level. You challenged
Oh,
us,
wow.
we challenged you, we challenged each other. That was really our purpose. We didn't really think about it then, but that was really the ground floor, and maybe, if you will, the platform that we used to
Right.
get to where we are now. So
Right.
that's amazing. Only a wonderful God can do that.
That's exactly right.
You see what I'm saying? And the
Mhm.
reason that we need to have conversations with folks like you is because you are living proof of where you can start and then where you're going. Don't limit your mind.
No, I totally agree with that. I'm from rural North Carolina. I'm from Shelby, North Carolina, at the base of the mountains. And if you would have told me I'd be living in Latin America, or I'd be over in Europe or anything, I would have been like, you're crazy. And the fact that I just got back from Africa by myself, just visiting one of my friends there, and she's doing some amazing things in Africa. And I just think now truly this world is global, and I want to visit every piece of it and expose and help and add value to as many people because of the value that was added to me. I just feel like I did not get that exposure for nothing. It wasn't about the money. It wasn't about any of that. It was so that I can tell everybody else, you can do it too. You can do it too. God said we could. He said he'll pour out the windows of heaven so you don't have room enough to receive it. And I believe that. I'm just that crazy to say, yep, God, checkbox, I got that one. Yep, I saw it. I'm excited about it. And I just keep going. So I just feel like as you transform your mind, the word is set, transform daily. So every day when we wake up, you change, hopefully, your underwear. Sometimes you can't, whatever you got going on, wherever country you're living in, but you get up every morning and do it. So renew your mind and say, this is the day that the Lord has made. I will be glad and rejoice in it, no matter how messed up it is. You decide what your day is going to be like, whether it's bad, sad, or whatever. I'm writing right now about private resilience. So y'all stay tuned, because I am stuck on that word, private resilience. We hear resilience and we say, man, she's so resilient. Her husband died and da 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 da. But what about the resilience for the person that just didn't even want to get up out of the bed and show up for work?
Right.
That's the resilience. That person that showed up, did the job, and you don't know what they're going back home to.
Right.
So only a God can get them through that. They can't do it by themselves. That's God. That is God renewing daily.
Yes. And those are the examples we need to hear, because you are a living example as to how sometimes people get stuck and they can't move. So talk to me about what keeps you moving and not getting stuck.
A lot of things. Probably the number one, if you're stuck, you're not moving. And the word that goes through my mind when I think of stuck is the verse, yea, though I walk through the valley of shadow of death. The word is through. In order to go through, you're moving. You're moving. And in order to move, you can't be stuck. I can't be stuck. I got to go through it. I got to keep going. I got to know that as long as I keep moving, it's not going to last forever. Right. I just went through that. I could have been stuck in 2020 with breast cancer. And no, that's not why I shaved my head. I had hair all the way through it. And I shaved my head. I shaved my head after the fact. I shaved my head because at that point, I had gone through breast cancer. I had gone through a divorce. I had gone through my father with a pulmonary embolism, and COVID was going on, all in 2020. The only thing I had control over is hair. I ain't had control over anything else. The thing is, the hair grew back, but this is the one thing I can control because I was losing it. And I had to renew my mind by saying, I want to live. I want to live and not die. I want to live. I want to live. God said, you want to live. You want to be here. I don't want to die. It's too much more I got to do. I haven't got to see all these places yet. I haven't got to eat a lot of different foods, Paula. I'm still a foodie. I still want to go eat.
We love that food.
So yeah, this whole thing about being, I'm stuck in this career. No, you choose to be in this career. Because if you're in a career that you don't like right now, choose to either make it better or move to something else. Choose to stay at that company or choose to go to a different company. Life is all about choices. You just got to choose one. And we used to say it all the time. Make a choice. We can go back and fix it later. Do something. Yeah. Don't stand there. We can fix it later. And I think that's where people get confused, especially when you bring in kids and spouses and family. You're like, I got to support this family. I can't just get this job. Yes, you can. Yes. Pray and ask God for the direction. Ask him where you should be. It could be that you're not stuck. God's just trying to make you go a different way or a different path, but you're so stuck on what you want that you can't see what he's leading you to.
Absolutely. And you have to surrender to the will of God. And surrendering is a huge part of moving through whatever you're going through. You have to say, I'm here, you're with me, you are with me, and I see that I'm moving out of this really soon. And that conversation has to continue. You have to have your affirmations. What about the people that are around you? How important are the people in your life when you're moving through something, Michelle?
So I post all the time, my tribe is my vibe. My tribe is my vibe. I'm going to tell you, I didn't realize that my tribe was my vibe until I was 45, which is sad. I am that good time girl. You want to have some fun? I got you. Let's have some fun. And everybody, what's interesting, I live in Raleigh. People say, Michelle has a lot of friends. No, I don't. No, I don't. I know a lot of people. I don't have a lot of friends. I don't use that word like I used to. I need people that are around me that motivate me. I need, and this is the other thing I say, I don't need faithful friends. Mm-hmm. I don't want faithful friends. I want friends of faith. Mm-hmm. That's different.
Yes.
I don't want faithful friends. I want friends of faith. I need you to check me and say, now, you just flipped out and went off, because I'm still Michelle. I'm still going to nut up, but I need you to pull it back in and apologize. But what you said was right. It was the delivery that was awful. And I need you to tell me that. I need people around me that stretch me. I need people that make me think, girl, if you don't come on over here to Africa to my gala, which is Awa Mary, she was like, come on over here by myself. You want me to fly by myself? Girl, I don't know about that. But I did.
And you did.
And I stayed 2 weeks. And it was wonderful. And I can't wait to go back. I need people that stretch me, grow me. I need people that make me dream. Absolutely. Those are the people that I'm around. Yeah. I want to dream and dream big. And I want to it's not just a dream. I mean, Martin Luther King said, I have a dream. But it happened. So you dream to make. God gives you visions and dreams all the time because he's speaking to you. You got to act on it. That's that whole thing. Don't be stuck just dreaming and watching it. Right. I'm not watching life happen. I'm making life happen.
And if you dream it and you don't know where to start, you need a coach.
You need a coach. I'm available. Let's talk about it.
This reminds me, you remember how we used to sit, oh my God, the hours and hours and hours and hours of sitting and talking. And you're just an example of what all of that meant at that time and now. It was important. I didn't realize how important it was. It was vital for today.
I agree with that. I don't think that, I didn't want to do it, especially, I'm going to tell you, I think of her all the time, Brenda Wilson.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Don't stop me crying. Don't let me cry.
The conversations, the wisdom, the knowledge, just a lot of stuff. I didn't realize the impact that it would make on me now. And even with Pauline and Janice, they were just so amazing and dynamic. I honestly didn't realize the fruit they were given and that I was literally eating it and believe that. The one lesson I have learned that I take now, and my teams, I talk to them about it I was going to Bristol Myers Squibb. I'll never forget this. And this was my first time I'm going to be over a training event. I was a trainer, as you know, and then this project for Bristol Myers will be my first one out. I went up there because they were talking about this huge contract that they wanted to do with 100 instructors on the platform. And that means that we have 100 people training at the same time. And they said, and so do you guys have 100 instructors? I said, yes, we have 100 instructors. Yes, we can do it. I remember going to the airport. Cell phones didn't exist. And I called Janice from the payphone and I said, we got the deal. I said, but it's one little thing. And she was like, what? I said, we got to hire a lot of people. He wants 100 instructors. And I told him we had it. She said, wait, you told him we have 100 instructors. And I said, yes, Janice, please. We have plenty of time. He doesn't want it till the summer. That gives us 6 months. We can do that with our eyes closed. She said, you go back over there right now and tell me you lied. What? And she said, you better not get on that plane. You go back. We don't lie. You go back and you tell him we do not have 100 instructors. I can't, because I told him I did. She said, then you're not going to have a job when you get back to Raleigh. And I remember standing in the airport and I remember saying, she is crazy. She is crazy. We're going to lose the deal. And I went back over there and the lady, the admin, she said, I thought you were leaving. I said, I forgot something. I just need to talk to him. And I remember going back in his office, and this is the VP of sales for Bristol Myers. He said, oh, did you forget something? I said, I need to tell you something. I said, I'm just going to apologize, and I'm really embarrassed about this. We don't have 100 instructors. To be honest, we might have 50. And he said, I am so glad that you came back because I had decided to cancel that deal because you lied. He already knew. He'd already vetted it. And I told him, but what I can guarantee you is if you give us a chance, we can train those instructors and get as many as we can. I don't know what that number would be, but I could not leave until I came back and told you the truth. We got that contract.
Yes, and others because of that. But the Bible says, and ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Free to do the next thing, free for the next deal, free for the next opportunity. So we did have to stand on the truth. And I will tell you, you didn't have any problems finding resources.
No, we didn't. We had 100 people on platform. That deal propelled us to many more deals because we did do that contract. The lesson I learned there was you don't have to lie. Numbers don't lie. And you know what? Tell the truth. God will make the rest happen. Tell the truth. That's right. And that has stuck with me through my business career. And I feel like, and I say it to my teams, don't lie. Just make a decision. I can go back and fix it later because I can say, hey, yeah, they made that decision, but this is where we're going. But to say nothing isn't a good deal. You got to say something. You can't be stuck, basically. Right. You got to move. So, yeah.
Well, there's a lot of integrity wrapped around the truth.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of integrity and there are a lot of opportunities wrapped around the truth. And you're right. The guy knew. You never know how much a person knows about you. So if you're having a conversation, I'm thinking about when we were in Florida, and all of us were there. I'm just thinking about all the different doors that were open because of that one time when integrity was upheld. I'm proud of you. That's a great story.
Yep. I'll never forget that. And I think you hit on something else. I think that people forget about integrity. I think a lot of things have happened to me and come to me because of my integrity. I feel like there's nothing because I'm such a great person. I think I have a great heart. And once they see my heart, they look past all the, Michelle, she's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, but I mean well. Strong personality.
Yeah. And strong personalities, let's talk about that for a second. So, I remember I was the laid back one, right? Remember? Until I got on platform. But I was the laid back one. But, I remember walking into places and people would say things like, we like her, but it takes her a while to speak. This is important. I'm hoping everybody's listening. And so what I had to do was develop a narrative that says during that time that I'm not speaking, I'm listening.
I'm listening.
So if you find me being quiet, it's because when I speak, I want to have all the knowledge that I need to address you.
Right.
There are
Right.
times when we need to find the best time to respond. You have that naturally. A lot of people don't.
I think though, with wisdom and age, I've realized that a lot of those times I was already formulating what I was going to respond to. I wasn't listening. So now I have learned to pause, listen, and respond. Pauline used to say, it's just that you're this quick thinker. I don't know if it was a quick thinker. I think that it was more of the exposure that I had and I ask a lot of questions. My line name when I pledged was Q&A because I had all the questions and all the answers. I think that by natural gift is training and speaking and consulting, because I do ask a lot of questions. I want to understand why you feel that way. How did you come to that conclusion? I want to know how you feel about it. Not just, yeah, I hear how you feel, but that's not what we're going to do. No, I want to know how you feel and why, because that might help me think and come up with a better solution or something that you would even agree to.
Right.
So, yeah.
And when people used to ask me all the time, how could you come up with a plan when you are basically training people in the same industry? Basically, they had the same business model and they were doing the same products. And what I said to them in one of my consultations, I said, when you get a lot of bright people, inquisitive, energetic people in a room, close the door, give them something to eat and a flip chart.
Yes.
And give them time to connect with each other. You'd be amazed as to the ideas that they come up with that's different from the other, that sets them apart, because everybody wanted to be set apart from the other person. Mm-hmm. We underestimate the power of being able to ask questions. And in that room, that brainstorming time, people are asking tons of questions and everything's acceptable. That's a big deal for us. And it made us really stand out. But it was also preparing us, Michelle, for today.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. As you can see, I have a flip chart still behind me.
I see that.
Even though I work for a technology company and, everybody's using Slido and everything else, there's nothing like pen and paper. Right. Because when you're writing it down, they say, write the vision, make it plain. Yes. My coworker corrected me and said, we are writing it. We're just typing it in. It's something for me. And, they say I'm old, whatever. It's something about writing it down. And even now, so one of my goals next month for August, I'm going to write 10 letters. I'm not going to email you. I'm not going to text you. I'm going to take time to write 10 letters. I want to write them in my hand, my penmanship. And because that means I have to stop and think. There is no autocorrect. There is no, autocorrect. Oh, yeah, that's a better word. That's what I really mean. No, this is what I wrote.
Right. So that's going to be your authentic self when you're taking that pen and you're jotting it down. Now, if I were to do that, you wouldn't be able to read my writing because my writing is much different than it is. But I don't totally get the concept of sitting down and being in that moment and writing the words from the heart.
And you're slowing down. You have to slow down.
Slow it down.
Slow down. Mm-hmm. I think we run too much. We run too much. I when I was in Africa, the one thing I dreaded about coming back wasn't the flight, and it wasn't about that. That's probably the only time in my life that I'm calm. That's the one time in my life where I can hear so clear. I'm not rushed to do anything because they're not rushed to do anything. And I live in the moment. I don't think I ever I say I'm living in a moment. I have to really try hard. I didn't have to try that hard when I was there. I actually could smell smells that I don't smell when I'm here because I'm not still long enough, and appreciate the beauty of the sun or a raindrop or a little piece of sand. I just don't have. I've never noticed that stuff here, and I feel like at the age of 54 that now I'm just now appreciating the whys, the whys. So even though I'm in this hustle and bustle, I will also shut it down
Yeah.
and shut it down to have time and be with him.
Right.
And I think that if you really want to transform and you really want to renew your mind, it's like the person you wanted to date and you try to spend the time with them. Well, I'm gonna date him.
Right.
God's already got me. I have to date him. It's like,
You have to go
I'm
after
messing
him.
up on my I'm messing up my part. So
Yeah.
that's important.
I'm so proud of you. I mean, I could ask a million questions, but we're in this relaxed place right now, which I think is important. When you look at what you're trying to pour into others, I was going to ask the question, how do you take care of yourself?
Mm. Did my mother tell you to ask that?
I don't know your mom.
I
Do
know.
I know your mom? I don't think I know her. I never met her.
No, so I can't pour from an empty cup.
True.
And what I'm realizing now, and you guys messed me up. Being a road warrior, I would just run until I'm burnt out. And I can't do it. So I'm exhausted. I can't do that anymore because with age and time, I can't run and pass out because it's a little different now when I do it.
Yes.
So I have to have a balance now. I have to say, I actually am taking vacations. I don't think I ever took vacations because we were traveling so much. So the vacation was to be at home. I am actually having to say, what do you like to do? So during COVID, Monique sent me a puzzle. We were talking about these puzzles. So I ended up I haven't put a puzzle together in years. So finding those things. Now my friends and I got together, actually it was a year ago on my birthday, and we did paint by numbers. We all had the same picture, but when you looked at the pictures,
that's good though.
We laughed. But yeah, I have to stop now and take time for me. I don't go 7 days a week. Everybody knows I'm going to church on Sunday morning. And after church, I'm going to chill out. I'm not running around or let's go to this event. I don't have to attend every event. I don't have to attend every function. I used to say, let me go so they can see me. They know me. And if they don't know me, that's not where I'm supposed to be. God's going to put me where I'm supposed to be. I take time for me. I go to bed early. I need a nap. Yeah, you have to do that. If you're no good. I can't listen to you as a coach because I'm a coach, not a mentor. There is a difference.
There is a difference.
I listen a lot, I ask questions. I'm an extension of you, but in order for me to be still and quiet and hear you, I got to be rested. I don't do coaching sessions back to back to back because I need time to decompress from what you just told me.
It's a good
right?
word.
And so with that said, I had to learn how to take the time for me. I take bubble baths on Saturday morning. Don't ever invite me to do anything before 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. Well, I'm saying 9 now because I have to be places at 10. But because I'm taking a bubble bath. I'm in a bubble bath. I'm taking care of myself. Yeah.
Good job. Now, we did run you a little bit. We have a few more minutes I want to talk about. We did run you a little bit, but at that time we were starting a business and we had tons of energy and we fed off of each other's energy. But like you said, sometimes we'd be so tired we could barely talk. But coming home and relaxing for a couple of days seemed to be all we needed. But now we understand we do need more. So I'm thankful for your bubble baths. I think that's quite important to your mental health, your physical health. And everything, emotional health, everything that ties along with that. I'm glad you say that, so that when you do pour into others, you aren't pouring from an empty cup, and you can be the person that can pour out and not take in any of the toxins. But if you do, you can pour them out, which I think is very important. You mentioned a few names of people I haven't seen or talked to in years. And of course, one of them I won't be able to talk to anymore ever again. But I really appreciate them trying to help us grow into the person that we are now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
When people listen to this broadcast, they're going to think about how you talk about the road that you took to get you or where you are now, and how it caused you to think bigger than anyone ever thought you could ever think. What is,
Totally. I will say, yeah, I will say this too. The people we're talking about, I met them when I was 20, turning 25. I mean, that's basically 25 years ago, right? Or no, was that 25? I'm dumb. 35 years ago.
yes, a bit
30,
more.
30 years ago. So I say that to say, you guys, we always say your network is your network. Blah, 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 blah. No, you choose your network. And I decided years ago that I would be intentional to stay in touch. Thank you, God, for Facebook and social media. It's easy for me to catch up with Bessie Divers, Michelle Him. You don't know who's doing what, right?
Right.
And I think the interesting thing is different people along the path of my life will reach out to me because they'll say, hey, I got something I want you to do. Who knew? You know, I keep in touch with them, but they know who I am. And it goes back to the integrity and them knowing my heart. And God radiates out. He doesn't come in and stay in you. He's just going to be out. And it's just, it's those relationships that have led me through and got me to different places and open doors.
Mm-hmm. So we have just a few more minutes. I want to keep talking. I mean, it just sounds so good just to continue to talk. You have done a lot of things. You've accomplished a lot of goals that, I mean, just amazing. We know we have to be a role model for others.
Mm-hmm.
What is the legacy for you that you want people to understand? I think you said it before. Will you say it again?
So, I mean, the travel, the accolades, that's great. I just want every Black and brown person out there to know if I did it, you're going to be even greater. You're going to be even greater.
Yes.
If I got to go to all these places and get invited to different events, you're going to do even more because I've done nothing. I stood on the shoulders of everybody else, and now you're able to stand on mine. And I'm going to push you and push you and push you and let you know you can do it. I'm from North Carolina, rural North Carolina. I was supposed to be working in a mill. I was supposed to have 4 or 5 kids by now. I remember when I decided that I was going to travel. My mom said, only place you can go is California. That's where your dad is. You don't know those people. You're going to Latin America. You don't speak Spanish. Great, because I'm going to Brazil. They speak Portuguese. I'm even better. I mean, so that's why I just feel like I'm here to let you know you can.
You can.
You can. You can.
You're here to give us hope, and you're here as an example, and that's what we need. We need
that's
that.
all. Yeah, and I'm telling you, God is able to do exceedingly abundantly more than you're gonna even ask or think. Because I asked for some small stuff, and God was like, little girl Pauline, and little girl Brenda, you thinking way too small."
Yes, 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 yes. And look, you're now a great role model for everybody. So we need some parting words from you. I've just enjoyed this conversation. I've watched you vicariously through Facebook, and I saw you on that camel. I mean, I've watched you, and I nodded my head and said, "Yeah, she's doing it." And I'm sure other people are doing it as well. But for you, I just see you on Facebook. I don't talk to you that much, but I see you on Facebook. But I've really enjoyed your journey.
Thank you. I took all of you with me. So when you see me doing it, that is you, Dr. Obie. You're doing it. You did this. You guys all did this. And I tell Pauline, you get mad at me, that's your fault.
Because we wouldn't let you give up. We wouldn't let you. I mean, that's what, but that's why we were there. we were strangers, Michelle. I mean, I didn't know them. I mean, you may have known each other, but
I didn't know any of them.
we were all strangers. But we had the ability to sit in a room and become family, and the kind
Yeah.
of family who pushed the other person forward. I've never, I've always thanked God for that time. And I remember that I almost did not take the advantage of the opportunity. Too many people were
You
telling me
know,
not to. And some of them called me back and apologized because they would have taken away something that was important to me. It's my destiny and it was yours. Look at you now.
it was. It really was. I'm sitting here, all these names: Betsy Divers,
Yes.
Rita DeBetta,
Yeah.
Nancy, all of
Oh,
those.
yeah. I'm going to have to get them together. I think we need a little bit of a reunion and just talk. But I'm grateful for having the opportunity to look into the future.
Oh,
Even if
yes.
we didn't have the courage, we had the opportunity to look into it. And now we have examples of what can happen if you just don't quit.
Keep moving. So
Keep,
I will give you those departing words. My departing words are: keep dreaming, keep believing that God is able, and keep moving. Keep moving. And the only way you can do that is by the transforming of your mind daily. Pick yourself up every day and said, you know what? This is another day that I get a chance to get it right.
that's right. So how can we get in touch with you? I'm sure we're gonna have to have some folks are gonna want to know how to get in contact with you and
Yes.
maybe coaching, but just how to stay connected.
Yeah. If you ever need some motivation, you need some leadership coaching, you're going through a transition, you can reach me on my email, Michelle at Third Degree Solutions. So they left the at out. So it's Michelle at sign thirddegreesolutions.com. All right. That's my email address. You can call me. My business number is 919-271-8351. 919-271-8351. Let's get together. Let's talk about some stuff. Let me coach you through it. Let me mentor you through it. Again, my email address is there. That is the correct one. Send me an email. Give me some time to get to you. In the email, I'm also on LinkedIn. You can look me up, Michelle Degree. I'm on Instagram. You can follow me. My Instagram name is Coach Michelle. Please remember it's M-E, Michelle, not Michelle, but Michelle. Okay. And I'm on Facebook. So yeah, we can get together. We can talk about some things. Let's make some magic happen.
Let's make it happen. Let's
Let's
make it
make it
happen.
happen.
I'm very happy to have talked with you. I always say to some people, we're going to have you back. That's what I say. Do you want to come back? We got to have you back.
Yeah, that's
But the one,
sure.
absolutely, we got to have you back because we didn't get a chance to talk about everything because there's so many wonderful things that are going on. But as we move towards the end of our broadcast tonight, Michelle, what I tell people is this: you have to trust, really trust the
Mhm.
process, God's process, in order for the power of transformation to take place in your life. And another thing, you have to believe. So that's
Yeah.
all we have tonight, Michelle. It's really, really good. We air again on Saturday. I'm sure many people will be watching tonight after they get out of Bible study. They're in for a treat. But I want to say thank you for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and joining our discussion tonight. We will see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.
Bye.